Welcome to BUSU 650 Corporate Responsibility, Ethics, and Sustainability. This is week 3 and summer 2 Brandman, and of course I'm Bernard Gibson, your instructor for this semester. I wanted to touch base on a few things that I wanted you to focus on and make sure that it was on your priority list for this week. Of course, there's an organization analysis case study, which is about 3 to 5 pages and listed in this syllabus and the outline. In the discussion, one of the points that we want to kick off in regard to the chat is the daughter effect. So looking at the number of female CEOs that have existed, currently exist. And that's an important piece to take an opportunity to review thoroughly. Negotiation stones is another one that we want to focus on this week. Learning to collaborate with your team. And of course, there's an opportunity there, not only in the reading, but also in regard to the building of your teams. And speaking of those, the Team Blue and team presentations is due up this week. And then your primary focus that I'd like you to really pay attention to, because I've been reading through a lot of your work, which has been very good and much appreciated with your responses. I want you to kick it up a notch and look at the why in your responses. And what does that mean? Well, a lot of what you've given me to this point in the first 2 weeks are kind of a warm-up to kind of a regurgitation of the information that you've read. Now I'd like you to think about why it is that you think that way or that you're responding in that particular fashion. That should enhance the not only the learning level, but it gets you to start thinking in a critical thinking framework about why you consider these topics in the way that you do, and why is that important? So now's a great time, if you haven't connected with your teams, to make sure that you have and exchange contact information. I highly encourage you to do that and make sure that you are putting forth that effort from a collaborative standpoint. And then this week on Wednesday evening, we'll have our first Zoom opportunity. And if you haven't looked at that, take the opportunity to do so. I'm trying to accommodate as many of our students as possible. Of course, we have students all over the country, so I have to be sensitive to time zones. If you don't make this Zoom, don't be concerned. There will be others. If you need assistance in setting up Zoom, let me know. I'll be glad to assist you in regard to that. And this first Zoom session is going to be relaxed, primarily kind of a Q&A session. It'll be Wednesday evening, July 17th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, as I alluded to, we've got students all over the country, and I want to make sure we can accommodate as many folks as possible. And then last but not least, I'll send out the Zoom link again, but this is the Zoom link that we will use for the class for Wednesday evening. So if you have questions, always feel free to reach out to me, touch base however you need to, as frequently or often as you would need to. I'd be glad to try to respond and help you as much as possible. Ask yourself this question: what did you learn today? And not necessarily just in the class, but as you're walking through life and contemplating the use of some of this knowledge and education that you're building in your repertoire, what are you learning? And then most importantly after that, what are you going to do to apply what you are learning? Here's your thought for today. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood.